Formula 1 returns to Japan for round 16 of the 2018 season, and with mixed conditions set to play havoc all throughout practice and qualifying, could there be another spanner in the works for what is already one of the closest championship fights in recent history. Williams were first out on track to gather as much data as they can, also bearing a new livery. Now as B&W increased their involvement within the team, gone into the Martini stripe, which replaced with the M logo bearing now on the side pods of the car and also over the front of the chassis as well. Another driver out early in practice was Nobihari Matsushita, who returns to Sauber Alfa Romeo for now his penultimate race with the team. He scored points here in Super Formula, who are hoping to repeat the same feat here in Formula 1. Red Bull also a team out gathering as much data as they could in the wet weather, with qualifying expected to be run mostly in the same kind of conditions, so trying to optimise a low speed setup for qualifying to try and maximise their place on the grid, and they were suffering in the race with a lack of engine power still. The track tried out by Q2 and just pushed too hard too soon and could destroy his Williams car, meaning he has to start the race from the T car and also take a 5th place penalty for doing so. This is also the home race for the Honda powered Toro Rosso cars, where Pierre Gasly and Nico Kari can really look at anything above 15th place. Only an absolute miracle if they to score points on home soil. Mercedes also come to this race needing a turn in fortunes. There's a miserable few races. We've seen Alonso's championship lead cut to only 8 points, and the Spaniard in need of resurgence in form if he's to keep his hand on the championship trophy. Another driver under pressure to perform at the home race is Kamui Kobayashi. The rumour is already circulating that Matsushita will replace him for next season. He'll be looking to repeat his podium success that he has here from 2017 and from 2012. Despite Red Bull's best efforts to get set up in qualifying, Verstappen would crash on his first lap out of the pits and would therefore set no time, with Pierre Gasly lining up slowest of those that managed to complete a lap. His teammate Nico Kari wouldn't get much better, and Robbie Kubica dropped 10 places from what would be P7, taking new parts after his crash at the last lap of the Singapore Grand Prix last time out. Carmen Jordan starts from 16th place and will be the final driver knocked out in Q1, with Ria Haryanto getting through into Q2 but could go no higher than 15th. The Haas of Mick Schumacher could only manage 14th place in the wet weather, with Jean-Eric Vergne disappointed to only be 13th in the Renault. Stroll starts from inside the point places from 12th, and Matsushita would just miss the cut to get into Q3. He'll have a free choice of tyres along with every other driver though on the grid. Track dried out by Q3 will bring into play the lack of straight-on speed in the Red Bull, meaning Daniel Kvyat could only manage 10th and slowest in Q3, with Leclerc starting from 9th in the Sauber. Thierry would have started from 3rd, however he drops 5 places having to start the race from the T car. Nico Hülkenberg starts from 7th as the lead of the Renaults. It'll be an all-red row 3 on the grid, with Sebastian Vettel having to settle for second best to his teammate Adrian Sutil, who got the better of the German by just under 0.2 of a second. The Noah's Ark theme will continue on to row 2, and once again it'll be the number 1 driver having to settle for 4th place on the grid, as Kamui Kobayashi starts from inside the podium places as the lead of the 2 Toyotas. And the second theme will continue onto the front row, with Fernando Alonso starting from 2nd and Pascal Wehrlein with a much needed good result takes honours with pole position. Hey guys, Tara here. Welcome back to the UniONE career, this time round 16 for the 2018 season here on the Japanese Grand Prix, a race where we really need to get our form back without crashing, thankfully though only in practice, so we qualified in 3rd place, so the pace is there, and also we've got some pace also this weekend for Pascal Wehrlein as well, with a much needed pole position rate to try and hold on to his seat for next season. But I imagine that Mercedes is going to do a switcheroo pretty soon on in the race and just let Alonso take the win if it all plays out for Mercedes as I hope it would. Also the 2 Toyotas lining up on the 2nd row of the grid, meaning they got their first podium here last season, and their first podium anyway since their return with Kobayashi, and with Hamilton and Kobayashi in a much more competitive car, they'll be looking to do even better this time. So Nico Hülkenberg starting now in front of us, so that we qualified in front of him. He's also setting there on a set of soft tyres, so Renault trying something pretty different in strategy. Of course, since qualifying Q2 was in the wet, every driver still gets a free choice of tyres. And coming out now to the start of the grid now, lining up in P8, like I said, to behind Nico Hülkenberg and just ahead of the lightning quick Sauber of Charles Leclerc. He did a great job to get through into Q3 in the wet conditions. Really shouldn't have favoured his Sauber car. Also, Daniel Kvyat right up behind us. He should not be that far down the grid, but because the engine in that back of that Red Bull is not too quick. And they're coming to the 5 red lights to start the Japanese Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go. It's like a pretty tough with a bit of wheel spin actually from both of the Ferraris. They're going to vie for position now down into turn 1. Actually, no, they're going 3 wide now with Daniel Kvyat and also Charles Leclerc. Actually, Matsushita is not going to look at it. We have to back out that move. I'm not going 3 wide there into turn 1. That would not end well for me. And we've got the other Renault here with Jean-Luc Verne trying to run the outside line. Now with me doing battle now with 2 champions here. And then coming out of 3D station now, we get ahead though of Verne, but we're still stuck now behind this Sauber of Matsushita. Actually had a good start now. Of course, he's still being the point start from 11th place, so that should be now up into 10th place. So I've gone from now from what? I should be in 11th now from 8th. It's not been a good start for me once again. Just cannot get this Williams off of the line, it seems, for the life of me. Now all over the back though of Matsushita. Indeed, we are down now into P11, so we're still in the points, which is the main thing to start with. But it's still a Mercedes 1-2, and I imagine they're going to pull away a little bit, and then they're going to swap the drivers around and give Alonso what he needs. He needs win. He was about what 60 points ahead of us at one point in the season. Now he's only 8 points from us. We've been really just clawing him back, and that's the great thing really about the point system that we have on the top 12. It's much easier to reel in a gap than it is to build one. Now it's being a bit of a no man's land here. So this third stage of the lap though, I'd like to think we could get past Matsushita through here, but Sauber along with the Toyotas are just massively quick in a straight line. Probably quicker than what our BMW Williams is as well, but that Renault behind us is Verne, he's going to have no chance. Also, he just want to set a soft tyres as well, so hopefully we should make him. Now got Charles Leclerc going to try and power pass now the Renault here. I've got the entire 130 yard, nice overtake there from Charles Leclerc. And got now into chicane, the infamous chicane where Prost and Senna had their crash there in '89, which gave Prost the championship. Come the end of the race, and then we've got Hulkenberg now just in front here of the Renault of the Renault, and then you've got the Cosy-powered Red Bull behind. This can be very pesky between these two. I think the Daniel Kvyat actually with good speed, because no DRS here. It can be pure position. Now going down into so much. His contact is huge contact. Kvyat's going straight on now into the gravel trap. Is he out of the race? I think he might be. Here he is. We would have been popped off the car. Daniel Kvyat, one of the championship contenders there, out of the Grand Prix, just smashed his car into the Renault there. Haven't Hulkenberg. Don't know what happened there. Did he get squeezed onto the grass or something? I don't know, but I don't know what Kvyat is. It ploughed into the side of him. So I don't know what happened there. He had some kind of problem with his car. We've still got the Sauber Matsushita in front of us. And then we've got Nico Hulkenberg. He's still carrying on his merry way. And I'm not seeing any damage. Well, we're not really getting any camera angles to have a look, see if there is any damage on his car. No, all his front wing's still there on both sides. So he's got a bit of side pod damage. I mean, Kvyat took a massive whack out of the car. So has he got any side pod damage or anything? No, the car looks to be in perfect condition. How has he got away with that? His car made of titanium or something? Looking at replay of what happened. Okay, now into one. I see a puff of dust. I think Kvyat had just about put a wheel on the dirt, and that sent the car sideways into the Renault of Nico Hulkenberg. So poor area there from Daniel Kvyat. But Hulkenberg inside, he's got a world of space. Kvyat on the outside line. He just goes too wide and then slams himself into the side of Hulk. So that's definitely not Hulkenberg's fault. Daniel Kvyat's only got himself to blame for that one. Okay, what I see from Hulk's perspective, you can see the slime there. The wheel just sheared straight off the car. And Hulkenberg, I imagine, was crapping himself in the seat there, just having a Rebel plough into the side of him. Especially when Renault were in a championship fight with Sauber and Haas as well for 6th place in the Constructors. You don't know. Moving back now onto the live action. We've got the 2 Toyotas here still running line of stone, and then they've got the 2 Ferraris still right to be on. So the Ferrari is actually showing a pretty good turning speed. Usually they usually drop off by now. And then which Toyota's here in front? I think this is Kobayashi actually behind Lewis Hamilton. Either way, he's getting in the DRS, so Kobayashi is not going to give up this pole position now without a fight. Going down into turn 1, he's going to try and have a look at the inside line. Actually, he wanted to go straight on the side, kind of shoot off the side. I think the 2 Toyotas may have just made contact. One of them's off the track there. They are now rejoining very, very slowly there. So why is it with turn 1 of cars not making overtakes? Actually, there's another crash there. There's seen the Toyota get punched off by the side, and they manage to rejoin. There's the car that stopped. So is that the Toyota or is that the car that crashed into? I didn't quite see who it was, so that was a pretty poor camera angle to see there. We're down to 18 runners now, so something is not gone right. I mean, we've got Daniel Kvyat, the first one out, and someone else there. Either Hamilton or the other car has just been crashed now out of the Grand Prix. Either way, they're moving now onto lap 6. We're still stuck behind the Renault here with Nico Hulkenberg, which is really not what we need. The Renault is a slower car in general than us, and it's on slower tyres as well. Now we've got Hamilton behind us, so it's the car that Hamilton made contact with. That's the one that's been crashed out, so imagine Hamilton might get a penalty for that, for rejoining the track on the racing line and smashing out one of the other cars. We'll see which car it is, maybe in the replay later, maybe at the end of the race, to see how to look at the end result, see who's in 19th, because that'll be the car that he just absolutely assassinated. Now they're getting now in the stitching on the back of that Renault. They've been ahead in front of us now for long enough now. Now Hulkenberg's going to have to try and defend to this. And actually, we're going to move to the inside line now. Going up now into 130. Same that Charles Leclerc did to if let's go and look to the inside line. We just managed to force out Hulkenberg. Thankfully, no contact made through there. We have to get defensive though. Into the chicane, Hulkenberg has a look on the inside line, but we're just going to lay on the brakes because we've got more grip on the grippy tyres in general. And also we've got more downforce on the car as well, but that Hulk. We actually have DRS now trying to come back at us now. Going down the straight out and so on. We're going to have to go defensive now to the inside line. Hulk, you've got some good speed now with the DRS. We're trying to go around the outside line now back. Inside, we're going to be side by side now. He's going to make contact here. He's going to run outside of the huge lockup though from Hulkenberg. He runs out a bit wide. I imagine if it wasn't for that lockup, he'd have made that mistake. We just tried to go too much speed though into the corner. Now then, this is where we need to pull away from that Renault, because Hulk is pretty good around this circuit. I mean, he's running in the podium places for much of this race last season as well. You see him, he's already flying away, because he's already lost about a second or so. So that Renault, it's not going to be quick right now, but the strategy is what will play out later in the race. So now we're up now into P7. We've got Charles Leclerc in the Sauber in front of us, and Leclerc doing absolute wonders in that car. I think all the tracks now that are left should be ones that actually suit the Sauber as well. So if the Renaults want to do anything to try and get ahead of Sauber in the constructors, are going to need to pick up their game. Well, I don't know where Matsushita is, because he's definitely behind us now anyway. No, we've got Hulkenberg in 8th. I don't know where Verne is. He's 3 positions back. So as it stands right now, I think Renault would still be outscoring Sauber, which is the main thing for them. But Leclerc up here in P6, up in the lofty heights in the car, which shouldn't really be up here as well. And we're planning to pick with that. We'll be boxing now at the end of this lap. So the tyres only go about 7 laps for us anyway. We haven't really pushed them. We actually set our best second sector of the lap though. So he's using up now all the life that these tyres have to give us, because we've got Charles Leclerc 7 seconds up the road in front of us. He's absolutely just ran away with this gap now. We're getting a bit of slide on. So yeah, the rear tyres are pretty much cooked by this point now. Just use all the grip they had available to us there. And we're going now into the pit lane now for our first stop of the race. It's going to be a two-stop strategy that Williams here has put us on. But the Ferrari pit crew there as well. So it's like someone else actually been brought in for one of their teams as well, either Vettel or Suttil. But now then, we're going to another set though of the super soft tyres. Hopefully now we can get some clean air and just try and push now and close that gap to the Sauber and then the 2 Ferraris in that in front as well. Because I feel like we started in P3, so you'd think we've got pace over the 2 Toyotas and the Ferraris as well. Just about whether or not we need to get back to P3 at least. We've only got the 2 Mercs to deal with out 1-2. This is not a time in the season where we need Mercs to be running 1-2. There's a car that's going very slowly. That one of the Renaults it is. Actually, that's Jean-Eric Verne with a right rear puncture there. There's the left rear. It's the right rear facing anyway. And then back up front, a bit more action. Actually, the other Red Bull here, Max Verstappen, is just off of the road. What's happened here? Has there been contact between the 2 of them? Well, you've got a Red Bull without a front wing, and you've got a Renault back there with a puncture. Surely this can't be coincidental now. Verstappen's holding us up now. We're coming now into the day, and he lets us go there up the inside line. But what happened there to Verstappen? I mean, he's no front wing, and Red Bull's only hope of getting points in this race now, and with no front wing, he's going to have to do an extra pit stop as well, and actually going to have to get back to the pit lane first. Now looking at replay, now what happened here? 2 Verstappen is getting on the back of one of the Hasses. Of course, Verstappen sits aside in last place. Makes a easy move there to the inside line. He doesn't make contact though with the Haas. And they're coming down 90 on the race, goes on the racing line. He's got a puncture, and Verstappen just slams into the back. And there's nothing there that either of those 2 cars could do about that. I mean, when you get a puncture right on the apex and the closing speed that Verstappen had, he'd have had absolutely nothing to there, no time to react whatsoever. Now then, he's causing a bit of a Verstappen train now. Just training up the 2 Hasses behind. Actually, this is bringing one of the McLarens into play as well. I mean, we really haven't seen much of the McLarens this season, but right up here behind the Hasses, I imagine that's probably Harry Amso, since he usually ends up being the better one in the McLaren. Either way, we're just bringing him right to play the behind 2 guys and Verstappen. They just pulls off the road just to get out of the way of those 2 cars, 3 cars behind him. And let's let those 3 battle on now. And moving on to lap 9, we're now catching up to Nico Kari in the Toro Rosso Honda. Of course, Honda's home race as well in the back of these 2 Toro Rossos. It looks like they're going to have the same success what Toyota did, but all over the back here of the Finn. What is only his 3rd Grand Prix. He's doing a pretty good job so far. He's 2 for 2 out qualifying Galaxy so far. We're going to pull to the inside though of the Toro Rosso Honda, because even Kari seems to be a pretty quick driver. That Toro Rosso is not a quick car whatsoever. We're going to look away up the inside line. We're just going to give Kari space around the outside. We managed to force out the young Finn. Now coming into race, once again, to get defensive inside line. Kari actually tries to look around the outside line. I mean, these 2 could well be vying for a Red Bull seat next season. Although Gasly is the one with the points so far, if Kari can outperform him in these remaining races, then who knows? Kari could be in a Red Bull next year. It's all to play for. I mean, being in the Red Bull Junior is one of the most high-pressure situations you could probably be in your junior career. Things to tell one though is easily just left Kari for dead there, even though we had DRS on that straight, the Honda engine. There's not got a lot of speed to it. Now we can try and head now after his teammate now, Pierre Gasly, so just talking of the other Toro Rosso driver. And then Toro Rosso is still in the fight with McLaren for the wooden spoon of the constructors, the fight, and not be in last place. Which as it stands, you've got 1 McLaren in front of them. I don't know where the other one is. As we're now down to 16 runners. 2 of the cars have just dropped out of this race at some point as we go through the first sector. This race being a bit of a bloodbath so far. I mean, it only takes another 4 cars to disappear from the race, and then everyone else is guaranteed to be in the points, because Gasly is in 11th place right now. He's got 1 stop left to make. He's on set of soft tyres, so Gasly, as it stands, is in front of us for position, so we need to get past him because yellow flags. There's Jean-Eric Verne still trying to get back around to the pits. I don't know why he doesn't park up at this point. He's already about 2 laps down now. Trying to make a way around the outside line here. Pierre Gasly through spoon as well. This is not a movie see too often. We're going to float around the outside line, just flexing the extra downforce and just good grip of our BMW Williams. Well, now then, we're going to have Pierre Gasly now in the solution. No, surely Gasly like to come back. Actually, Gasly though, with the solution, is actually gaining on the back of us. You know what? Maybe if you turn that Honda engine up, actually got some pretty good speed to it, it seems. And maybe it's just the poor Toro Rosso car as a whole that really is just holding down the Toro Rosso engine into the hairpin there. He's not able to make a move back past us, and now we can try ourselves now after the McLaren next in front of us. Now moving midway through lap 11, it's Karma Jorda in the McLaren in front of us, and Jorda, she's made quite a habit recently running in the points, and maybe just scoring that point back at Singapore really has just woken her up, really. She got through into Q2 back at Russia, though she had some car trouble in the race, which means she finished in last place there. She's currently running ahead of both the Toro Rossos and in the points places on a set of super soft tyres as well, so it's like she's only done so she's trying to really audacious one stop here. So 11 laps on super soft tyres. I can only do 7, then again, to qualify. Actually, no, we all started on fresh tyres as well, so there's a very interesting strategy here from the McLaren team. Of course, me and Joy, the team is back in 2015, so she didn't put up too much of a fight to us. I'm going to pull to the inside line. Actually, we just have done to the outside there. I'll put it in the got Van going on the inside line. You could always just crane into the roof, and that would be a monumental accident. But Joy holds it around the outside line of 130. A brilliant move from Carl Joy. She really has just woken up now in this past few races. It seems like, of course, she's still fighting for a McLaren seat next season. Could got Lando Norris waiting in the wings, possibly to try and swoop that seat for next year. But Joy, she poses a massive fight to us, and she comes in the pit lane. And like I said, she's just trying to advertise herself possibly to McLaren to keep her on for next year, or maybe even to another team. You never know where all the drivers going to next year. I mean, there's only one change for this season with Leclerc coming in, so who knows what kind of good there could be. The entire grid could change. You never know. We've not yet got to the silly season part yet. I mean, Alfa Romeo will confirm the driver for next year, so could that be Karma Jorda? Or we just have to wait and see. And Jordan now coming out in absolute no man's land of her own, in probably last place at the minute. So she can try and put in that on soft tyres as well. She needs to try and put in some good laps now. And then we go purple through the first sector once again, just showing the pace that we have on these tyres now. Got monumental pace now, catch up to the back now of Lance Stroll. In that Hassan Stroll really shouldn't put him too much of a fight to us now. As he come now into the hairpin. And in front of Stroll there, we've got his teammate, I think that is up in front there, Mick Schumacher as well. And it's been a while actually since Haas scored points. It's been since round 10 in Germany, since last time either of them scored this point. So it's been a long time waiting for them, and now coming out into spin, we try and have a look around the outside line here once again. And actually Stroll has moved aggressively onto the race line to block out this Stroll. He's not going to make it too easy for us. Like again, he has to try and advertise himself for a possible Williams seat in the future when even a junior car, you can do everything you can. But holding up the big boys, that's not really how you get into the good books, as you've got Mick Schumacher in front being overtaken, so going to be synchronized overtakes here on the house. You can try to hold it side by side. We actually force Lance Stroll there just about off the track. He keeps 2 wheels on there, so we leave him just enough space into the hairpin. We managed to make that move stick on the young Canadian. Now we can try and chase now, and after his teammate now, actually Mick Schumacher should be the car in front unless he's coming to the pits. And down the straight we've got actually looking for Spain, got you the Toro Rosso Honda coming to us, and then we got his teammate Nico Kari now into the real thick of things now. There goes our teammate Robbie Kiris, started down in P17. There goes one of the Toyotas going to blast past him now. Kari's going to lose 2 places now in one straight. Actually, up the side line. Toyota's going to look and move on the inside line now. Team Robbie Kiris. A bit of a lock on there from the Toyota. Back out of that move. Kiris giving him a massive squeeze, and Kiris on a set of medium tyres. I don't know if he slide on them. But of course, starting down the P17, he's going to have to go for a one stop as well, trying to push back. So it's Kobayashi in front of us. So actually, it was Hamilton to try to make that double overtake their work. I mean, Hamilton and Kubica, they've had some pretty intense history before, so they're just writing their next chapter out there into team battle, really. Now then, coming up to the back here, after Kobayashi, we've still got Stroll as the car behind us, so now coming up there into the hairpin, and it's the hairpin that Kobayashi actually made famous back in 2010. I mean, also, well, that's why you got the nickname Kobayashi as well, when you just barge his way up the inside of everyone. I mean, it's his home race, so you're going to push 110%. I mean, honestly, I'd like to think that he does that anyway, but your home race, you always just get that little extra something extra. And we're repeating this, we still can make another stop yet, and Kobe actually on a set of soft tyres. I don't know if he started on them. If he has, he's got to make another stop. If he didn't, then I've got to try and overtake him and then gain a pit stop worth of time on him. If I want to actually make the move on Kobayashi now coming up now into 130, but can't make the move. We're all over the back of his gearbox, so we can't be any close to him without pushing to the corner and going for a dive. On this Highlander, Kobayashi leaves the door open. There's a bit of a lock on there from Kobayashi as well. That's when we need him to destroy his tyres now. He'll come up to my advantage later on in the race, and now they're down the start finish straight now to see where Kobayashi will have the DRS association now, striker bags. Now we know how fast that Toyota is in terms of straight line speed. Now the DRS actually no, we're the ones here with the DRS. Now Kobayashi still does some pure straight line speed. You can push side by side now going outside line. That's going to make a little bit of contact there with the rear tyre. Heavy, we didn't get a punch from that. I didn't see anything come off though, so I think you're just about going to get away with that. We saw how fast he was in a straight line. Just on natural car speed. If he had the DRS, he'd have been blasted straight back past me then. But then we've got Charles Leclerc now in the Alfa Romeo Sauber car, right up behind the back now of one of the Ferraris. And this isn't the first time Leclerc's done this, and he's made a pretty good habit of just annoying the Ferraris in the past few races. this is why he's going to be driving for them next season. And if he can do this, and then, like I said, in the past few races, a car that's much worse than the Ferrari, he could well be a championship contender for next season if Ferrari can get their act together and give him a good car. And which of the Ferraris is this anyway? It's actually Adrian Sutter, so even more personal between these two now, because these two are vying now for 10th place in the championship. And, well, they started the season as teammates, and they both got podiums with the Sauber friends, so imagine there's still some healthy respect between the two of them. And this is also being Sutter's final season in Formula 1, Charles Leclerc's first, so really contrasting fortunes there between the two of them. Now then, going down this part now, this is going to be where the fortunes favour the Sauber Alfa Romeo. They both do have Ferrari engines. That Sauber is just so slippery in terms of a straight line speed, although I imagine Ferrari have some engine modes saved for themselves as well. And actually, Leclerc pulls in the inside line now. 130 going to be side by side now into 130 going to come on, maybe do the side. Actually, big contact, Leclerc is sideways. That's going to be a massive crash. We didn't have that great job there, Charles Leclerc. I have to say, they're actually holding that as we were on pebble through the second sector, so we've got some pretty monster pace in our car as well. But now then, down the start finish right now, Leclerc's going to have DRS now. Down the straight here, going now into turn 1. He's got his clutch on plate, he's got a DRS wide open, but imagine Sutter's got his engine turned up now. It's Max where he goes to the inside line. He's going now into turn 1, look, he goes straight on his way, overcooks it, and Leclerc just takes an open invitation and just dives his way up the inside line. I mean, really uncasual down. I mean, Sutter's just trying everything he can. I mean, was that a fight for a podium? But I didn't actually quite look where we were, so that could well end up being a podium fight between these two. And Leclerc, he's got 2 podiums already this season, I'm pretty sure. And Sutter, I think he's got 2 on his belt as well, but he hasn't got a Ferrari podium yet. I imagine he wants to finish his season on a high and get at least 1 podium with Ferrari, which you think is the better car. So if you can do it in the worst car, you should be able to do it in a better one. And now then, through the 2 tags there, now we're all at the back here of the German, and he's been here for quite a long time. I think this is his 12th season in Formula 1, and he's took this long to get his podiums. I mean, it's better late than never, really. But no, he's already falling away there from Charles Leclerc. He's got some absolutely amazing pace. Imagine, I mean, now he's still a Sauber car, although it's now really an Alfa Romeo. Depends next season, if Alfa Romeo uses the car that Sauber would have used, if it's something like this, and Sauber are really onto something, who knows, the Alfa Romeo could end up, I don't know, winning a championship in their first time back. They could be like what Broly did in 2009. Just get a car that was meant to be for someone else, use it for themselves and claim all the glory. Then all over this back now of 18 to 29 to 130, although we're not close enough to make a move on the inside line. They were pretty much just pushing him through the corner. We're all over the back though of Sutter. He's going to try and have a look now on the inside line. This Sutter there does well to defend from us. This is just allowing Leclerc to pull away even more. Although it's not time for us to actually come into the pits, and Sutter's coming in as well, so it must have been Sutter that stopped Tony us. So me and Sutter here doing 2 stops in this race now. This is where we're coming now for our set of soft tyres now. That's going to be a peddling battle here, Williams versus Ferrari. Is it going to be a good stop here? It is a brilliant stop actually from our team, and Sutter's going absolutely nowhere. It's a horrible stop there. Look at the time he's on, so that's about what, 3, 4, 5 seconds even? They must have had trouble getting one of the wheels off or something, or one of the wheels on. Either way though, for Sutter to lose that much time as well, something must have gone drastically wrong in the pit stop. And he's actually going to come out now behind one of the Hasses and one of the Renaults as well. And the time that he's lost, this actually put cars in between now, me and Sutter. We've got Mick Schumacher there, and of course, Hulkenberg is not going to be Jean-Eric Vergne. I don't know if he's still in this race. He shouldn't be, really. I think he would have probably made more sense just to retire the car. Either way though, we've got Fernando Alonso leading the race from his teammate Pascal Wehrlein. He's having a much needed upturn in form. He definitely needs this. He wants to try and stay at Mercedes for next season. In 3rd place currently is Charles Leclerc in the Sauber. Starting out in P9, he's coming in a podium position. He's having a great run here. Although we've got Camille Kobayashi. He's going to want to do something about that. And his home race to try and get his 3rd podium here at home. Then we have Kobayashi's teammate Lewis Hamilton, who's had a pretty good recovery considering he's smashed into about 2 cars at least. And then we have our teammate Robbie Kubica, who's having a great recovery now from P17 up into P5. I think that it could be P6, and then we're chasing it down. So imagine Williams might head into. Oh, I imagine Williams would tell me to like pass along. Basically, on the championship fight, those things stand. Then we have Adrian Sutter behind us, and then we have Nico Hulkenberg in that Renault. So Hulkenberg's still in the top 10. So the strategy, I guess, is working out pretty good for him. Then we have the Haas though of Mick Schumacher, and it's going to be a welcome return for Haas to be in the points. I think standing because then he goes to a long shot behind. Said it's been about 6 races, including this one, since they haven't scored points. So it'll be a welcome return to the top 12 for them. Then we've got Carmen Jordan as the leader of the McLaren. So Jordan, like I said, she's really just, I don't know, she's just woken up. She just flicked a switch or something. She's definitely got a lot more pace recently. And then we have Pierre Gasly as the lead of the Toro Rosso Hondas as the car behind. And then we have another Red Bull driver though, who's the main team's on Max Verstappen, who's still on the recovery drive, still out of the points places. So you're going to get past Gasly enough because he's already got past Nico Kari. Imagine he just dived out of the way to just let Verstappen through and not infuriate the Red Bull team any more than what they already are. Then right at the back, Jean-Eric Vergne, he's still going, so props to Vergne for still carrying on. I imagine Renault is using this now as more of a test session, maybe just trying a few things with different engine mode stuff on his car to see what works, what doesn't for the remainder of the season. But now I'm moving all the way on to lap 21 We've now caught up to our teammate Robbie Kubica. I mean, he's done a great job to currently be in P6. He's made up 11 places from where he started down in P17, although he did qualify in P7. On the back, and of course, me and him though, we're still in the championship fight, so even if Williams do tell him to let us through, I don't think he's going to listen to any team orders. Although we're closer in the championship, Kubica realistically still kind of has a chance. Although with Alonso being out in front, this may be Kubica's last race really that he's in the championship hunt, so although I still lead the championship, I would say let me pass him. I mean, that's just me, so I want to be in front of him anyway. I would say if the situation was reversed, I would probably let Kubica through right now. I'm going to try and look around the outside line, just use the good grip that we have. Now, on these soft tyres, but Kubica, you can see, he's not giving this one up now without a fight. Now they're going up this straight, of course, no DRS to this straight. Imagine going DRS 3, he'd actually just fly off into the wall. Doesn't he have actually no damage around here, now going through one that you can keep it flat through there. Going up now into final chicane, going to go for a dive with this island, just fading out the 18th line, just give you always give me a little bit of a pusher through the corner as well. We're going to mount the curbs. We're going to have DRS now down this start finish straight. Well, now we're close enough to make a move on our team, and now looking on board now from Robbie Kubica. There's a sneaky look there to this line to see which side we're going. And we're going to run now down into turn 1. Kubica goes defensive to the inside line. We're going to go more to the inside line. We're going to make it this time. Kubica runs out wide. We're going to try and go around the outside line now. Just trying to dive around the outside, just diving all over the track. We're going to get a little bit of contact there. And then into this section, we managed to force our teammate Kubica. He was going to force the issue, but when he came to it, he didn't let us. So, I say thanks for that, Kubica. You pushed the issue, but you didn't take it to an extreme level. But of course, for the constructors as well, me and Williams and then Red Bull a little bit further behind. But now looking at the sole remaining Red Bull driver in this race, we've got Max Verstappen. He's already passed the Toro Rosso because nowhere to be seen. Catching up to the back now of Carmen Jordan. I don't know if this is for the points or not. I think with the cars that are left in this race, you've got the 2 Toro Rossos that are out behind anyway. Then you've got Carmen Jordan, so that's 16th, 15th, and 14th. And 13th will be Verstappen. So Verstappen, if he gets past Jordan, might be in the points actually, because I don't know if there's anyone else further back as well. He may just blast past Carmen Jordan, because the Jordan, she's found some good pace. That McLaren doesn't have any pace really, let's be honest, into the hairpin there with Jordan. She tries to come back. I mean, she can have DRS now down the start finish rate, so this might be a chance to try and come back with that Renault engine. It's pretty good, because there's a lot of drag on that McLaren car. The concept of that car for the season really hasn't worked. But Jordan, with the DRS, you can see she's actually gaining back on Max Verstappen, because that Red Bull has absolutely no strength of speed either. So McLaren, they've made some improvements with the car, it looks like, but definitely nowhere near what they need. And getting through into Q2 though, for Hayato though, he would have been knocked out in Q1 if you think about it, because Kubica was ahead of him, and Verstappen would have been ahead of him as well. But I'm moving all the way now onto the final lap of the race. And now we're in P6 still, so we've dropped Kubica by quite a bit later coming into the hairpin yet, but now we've got Lewis Hamilton there in front of us, so this strategy really hasn't worked out for us. We've had some blinding pace though. You see where we're saying purple sectors left, right and centre. And there just wasn't enough laps left in the race, because we were going so much faster than Hamilton. He was behind us before our second stop. He was the car, I think, directly behind us. Could have been Kubica, not too sure, but either way though, Fernando Alonso, they're coming up now around the final corner, up to the line now. Fernando Alonso going to win the Japanese Grand Prix and take what is probably the most crucial victory of the season so far for the Spaniard. He absolutely needed it after, what, 3 or 4 races in a row, not even in the top 5. We're coming across the line though in P6. I mean, it could have been worse. It's better than where we started, but we did start in P3, so the pace was there, but the strategy, there just wasn't enough laps in the race left to make the strategy work, really. But you can see Toto Wolff, surprisingly looking very happy with the Mercedes 1-2 as well, and of course with the fight with Williams and the constructors, the 1-2 is what they absolutely needed now. And now doing a quick mental math of the points, I think that actually puts Mercedes back into the lead of the constructors. So yeah, it wasn't a good race all around for Williams, and Kubica really did not need to be starting down in 17th place, but after that crash last time, these things happen. What can you do about it, really? And Mick Schumacher, where did he finish? In P10, so that's finally to get themselves now back into the points places. Taking a look at the end results, Fernando Alonso takes the victory by 6 seconds from his teammate Pascal Wehrlein with a much needed return to the podium. And Charles Leclerc, with a great pace in this race, comes home in 3rd. Right at the podium, just under 9 seconds behind, although I imagine the two Mercedes would just keep things under control, because I imagine they would have been a lot further ahead if they wanted to, but when you want to, they didn't need to push. And KB actually comes home just behind him, about a second and a half behind in 4th. His teammate Hamilton in P5. Then we finish in P6 with our teammate Kubica in 7th, and the lead Ferrari of Adrian Sutter down in P8, with the Renault of Hulkenberg in 9th, and the two Hasses come up in 10th and 11th, so finally get some more points on the board for them. And Max Verstappen will indeed get into the points to round off the top 12. Jordan would just unfortunately miss out on points, but then again, the top 12 were basically filled of the top 12 teams anyway, so nothing really Jordan could have done there. But she did at least beat the two Toro Rosso Hondas of Nico Kari, who in the end actually beat Gasly as well. So Kari, he got some pretty good pace in that Toro Rosso, but wasn't enough to beat the McLarens. Then we got Jean-Eric Vergne 5 laps down. Like I said, just using this probably the test session anyway. It's still classified though, so if a few more cars dropped out, he still would have actually scored some points in this race. And we actually had 4 DNS as well, so we've got Sebastian Vettel here, who didn't actually know retired. Arianto also out of the race. I think that's 2 races in a row now he's retired from. It was Matsushita that Hamilton crashed into. He crashed into the Toyota reserve driver in front of the home crowd in a Japanese car. That's going to take some fixing in the press conferences. And Daniel Kvyat, as we saw, smashed himself out of the Grand Prix. Alonso now gets his championship lead now back from what was 8 points to now back over a race win clear now, 21 points clear of ourselves. He's got twice the lead back though to Lewis Hamilton in 3rd place. In the Toyota, gets back up now into 3rd place ahead of Daniel Kvyat. And we've got Robbie Kubica now in 5th place on 120 points, 53 points off now, so I'm pretty sure now Williams realistically do just have to turn their attentions to me for the drivers and just Kubica tries to do what he can to help secure the constructors. And we've got Seb Vettel in P6, I'm pretty sure is now out of the championship fight with that DNF in this race, and Pascal Wehrlein with what is only, I think, his 2nd podium of the season, now gets ahead of Max Verstappen for 7th place. And you have Adrian Sutil in 9th, he's now only 4 points clear of Kobayashi, and Charles Leclerc getting his 3rd podium of the season now gets up into 11th place ahead of Nico Hülkenberg, rounds off the top 12 for Renault. Jean-Eric Vergne is in 13th place, but he's now only 1 point clear of Mick Schumacher, so if Haas can keep getting themselves into points a little bit more often, then to jump the, I say defending champion, but he's not going to be champion now for too many more races. And he got Stroll in 15th on 35 points, with Ricciardo 16th on 16. Then quietly got down to Rio Haryanto, who still leads Formula 2.5, albeit only on merit, because Gasly does have the same amount of points as him. Then we've got Giovinazzi on 2 points to be back in the Sauber now for the remaining races until the final at Brazil. Then we have Matsushita in 20th on 1 point along with Karma Jorda, leaving still only Sainz and Kari as the 2 drivers yet to score. And now moving on to the Constructors, and I was right, Mercedes now do retake the lead of the Constructors' Championship by only 2 points now from Williams, 290 points to 288. Then we have Red Bull in 3rd, they're 53 points off, so they're still just about really in the Constructors' fight. And we've got Toyota in 4th place now, break over the 200 point mark now, 205. And Rio now just pulling away from Ferrari now by 21 points. We have Alfa Romeo Sauber in 6th place on 103. And they've pulled quite the gap now on Renault, who are in 7th on 88. With Haas in 8th on 79. Then McLaren 9th on 5, with Toro Rosso at the back, propping up the standings on 4 points. Remember to vote for your driver of the day with the poll link, that'll be in the video description. Also, leave a like if you enjoyed this race, leave a comment down below as well, subscribe if you're new and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. So give me a follow on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, there's a link down in the description below, along with the 3 livery mods I use for this season. So we've got the BMW M livery on the Williams, you've got the BWT livery on the Toyota, and the Alfa Romeo Sauber livery. They'll be linked down in the bottom description if you've got this game on PC and you want to download them yourself and use them in your cars as well. Thanks for watching, I'll see you all next time.